Our factory tours have gotten increasingly low level, like a painting factory and a sheet metal supplier. But today we're taking a step back down the factory supply chain to cover a power supply factory. This is the first of 2 videos we'll be posting on the process of making a power supply. Part 1, this one, is physical assembly, and Part 2 will cover R&D for new designs. This factory is responsible for assembling, QC testing, stress testing, researching and developing, and packing finished power supplies for a lot of the brands that you recognize. Our host for this one was Cooler Master, which uses this factory to source a lot of their power supplies. Cooler Master and many of its competitors who also use this factory work with the factory during the early research and development stages and provide an idea of what they want. We'll talk about that process in the second video. But they also use this factory to do the final assembly and testing of all the power supplies going to market, all the way down to shrink wrapping the box. Before that, this video is brought to you by the new Be Quiet Straight Power 11 Platinum Power Supply Series, available from 550 watts to 1200 watts. The new Straight Power 11 is Platinum certified, operating more efficiently than before, reducing heat and lowering noise levels as a result. The Be Quiet Straight Power 11 Platinum is up to 94.1% efficient and meets the new low power standards of just 0.16 watts when in standby. Learn more about this high-end, noise-focused power supply at the link in the description below. Cooler Master was our host for this tour, but they're just one of many clients to this factory, which has requested to remain unnamed. There aren't many power supply factories, and most of them are in China, although this one is in Tainan, on the southern end of Taiwan. This PSU factory does a lot of R&D and testing, but as far as assembly goes, it mostly takes partially completed kits from factories in China and then adds the rest of the assembly. What we can say is that they manufacture Cooler Master power supplies, among other products, and that they employ 120 sales and office staff and 80 assembly workers at this location, although it was quieter than usual during our visit because of supply chain issues from human malware. The factory produces power supplies for a lot of the other brands that you're familiar with too, but those weren't on assembly during our visit. The first step of assembling a power supply is the Service Mount Technology, or SMT line, and Automated Optical Inspection line. We didn't see this happening because it's done at factories in China, but we have extremely thorough coverage of the SMT process at multiple factories in our previous tours. Last year, most recently, we looked at it at Gigabyte's Taiwanese motherboard factory from Nanping Road from our tour in 2019. This is the same process for motherboards as it is for power supplies, so we'll recap some of that content briefly before getting into this specific factory's work. Bare PCBs are